Hi guys, welcome to the lecture on grouping data. In this lecture, you will learn how to group data so that you can summarize subsets of table contents. This involves two new select statement clauses. We have group by clause and we have a having clause. So far we have seen where clauses which operates on rows like this. I'm just going to copy paste. And as you can see, we have a where clause here which is actually operating on rows. But what if we want to return the number of products offered by each vendor? Let's investigate this products table a bit more. Select star from products. Oops, there's a bit of a lag there. So as you can see, we have this products table here. What if we wanted to return the number of products offered by each vendor? So we have three vendors here. As you can see, we have DLLO1, we have BRSO1, and we have FNGO1. So we have a group of three. We have a group of three vendors, and we want to return the number of products offered by each vendor. This is where groups come into play. Grouping lets you divide data into logical sets so that you can perform aggregate calculations on each group. So we're gonna have three logical sets here. We have a logical set of DLO1, BRSO1, and FNGO1. So let's do that. Select vendor ID count, that's an aggregate function. Yes, products. Doesn't really matter, but from products table group by when ID. So what exactly is happening here? So this group by clause is gonna group this data in this table based on the vendors. So we're gonna have three groups here: DLO1, BRSO1, and FNGO1. Let's press enter and let's see what's gonna happen. Awesome. As you can see, we have three groups here and we have the count of these groups. So we have three counts of BRSO1, we have four counts of DLO1, and we have two counts of FNGO1. There's a word of caution here. Aside from aggregate calculation statements like count, star, sum, max, and all these calculated functions, columns, every column in your select statement should be present in the group by clause. So as you can see, we have vend ID in the select statement and we have vend ID in group by clause. So just always remember that whatever column you have in a select statement should be in your group by clause, except the calculated fields like these. You don't need to include these. You don't have to include these in your group by clause. Moving on to filtering groups. So how are you gonna filter these groups based on a specific condition? So we have three groups here. How are you gonna filter these groups? You cannot use where clause. You cannot use where clause because where clause only operate on rows. For filtering groups, we have a special clause called having clause. Having clause operates on groups. Where clause operates on rows. So let's see an example now. I'm just going to clear this up. Control L. Select cust ID. Count star. Yes, orders. Oops. From orders table group by cust ID having count star greater than equals to. So what exactly is happening here? We have the usual select statement in the first line, select cust ID, count star as orders, from orders table, group by customer ID. As you can see, this statement here, this line here is gonna group all the data by customer ID. And then we have the having clause. Having clause is gonna filter these groups here. And we have this condition here. Always remember, having clause is very similar to where clause. In fact, all types of where clauses that we have seen so far can also be used with having. The only difference is that where filters rows and having filter groups. Let's press enter and let's see the results. As you can see, we have one result satisfying this condition here. Customer ID and orders greater than 2. The final line adds a having clause that filters on those groups with a count greater than 2, that is 2 or more orders. And now is the good time to review the order in which select statement clauses need to be specified while writing your SQL statements. I mean, you might be a bit confused right now. Should I have having clause first? Should I have where clause first? What should be the sequence? What should be the ordering of all these SQL statements? So for that, I have made a table for you that's going to make your life so much easier. And I'm just going to share that with you right now. So I made this table for you guys. So this table is going to show you the sequence in which you have to write your SQL select statements. The first thing is you always have to start with the select statement while writing SQL. And it's always required. Then you have the from clause. Select this and this column from this and this table. So from actually gives you the table that you need for running your SQL queries. The where clause is not required, but it's used for row level filtering. The group by is used to form groups for grouping data, as we saw in this lecture. You only need this if performing calculations on groups. Then you have having clause. Having clause is used for group level filtering, because you cannot use where clause for group level filtering. You always have to use having clause. Is it required? No, not really. Only when you're working with groups. Order by clause is for sorting, as you have seen before. So always start with select, then comes from, then comes where, then comes group by, then comes having, and in the last line you will always gonna have the order by clause.